Open the door for them and let them out. Thank you so much.
I'm going to Charleston and miss my baby.
20 years we're working this with the same container vessel, and they just come in, they decided they feel as though they're going to take it away from us, one non-union company. And we had to retaliate. I feel as though if I have to do what I'd done before, I'll do it again.
Longshoreman affects 29 major Pacific ports from Vancouver to San Diego. At issue here, pensions, benefits, and new technology such as sensors and cameras that could eliminate union jobs. If this situation persists, store shelves could be emptied, production lines shut down at a cost of an estimated $1 billion a day.
Hey, the battle's going to be tomorrow at the cruise ship when they're going to have non-union guys unloading the cruise ship.
Hey.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Nation's fight. I was fed stories as a small child of Harry and my father and Jimmy and my mother. This is our fight. My brother's here, Nick, people that I've grown up with, this is our fight. What is this fight? This is a hell of a fight we're looking at, and I'll tell you why. George Bush, ever since Ronald Reagan, they created the theater. They've got the biggest diversion theater going on right now. It's called the Iraqi War. Let's divert the American people from understanding what they're trying to do on planet Earth, which is eliminate any power control and respect for people in this world that work, that deserve to have rights, to provide for their families.
When you take on the ILWU, you're taking on the whole labor movement. The whole labor movement has not only been united, we're going to be even more so to put together our material to get the message out there so they will never try this trick again of using that lockout against good, hard-working people.
It ain't no secret. We the ones do the work down here. These are our jobs. And I'll be damned if you're gonna take it from me. I will lock your ass out.
Workers can stop it. Workers will stop it. Workers can stop it. Workers will stop it. Workers on fire. What is it?
I got hit by fucking tear gas.
Oh, man.
Tell them all to get the fuck out of here.
Oh.
Get the fuck out of here. They don't come to you.
How you doing?
They just arrested me. Okay. All right? Let them know that...
What did they arrest you for?
I don't know. They haven't told me.
Officer, can you say what you...
Here's the evidence. That's the evidence. Where the guys got shot back here, the two Longshore.
Did you arrest him for having this in the
No.
What was he arrested for?
I don't even know.
He doesn't. Nobody knows. They just do whatever they want.
We've taken on the employer, we've taken on the police, and we're going to have to end up taking on the Homeland Security apparatus.
Turn it up slightly.
Because this union, above all other unions, understands the nature of struggle. We know for a fact that the employer does not love us.
Never have.
George Bush Jr. proved that he doesn't love us when he interfered or tried to interfere in our negotiations a few years back. And what we saw up in Sacramento was just a continuation of that struggle. It's sad to say that in all of the years that I have been going to demonstrations, I don't see any international officers out here this morning. I'm going to say it plain and simple. This union has always been bottom up, never top down. Never top down. So you keep that in mind, brothers and sisters. These kinds of things have to be organized at the rank and file level sometimes. Because if you don't, you'll become subject to what we call business unionists, who view themselves as CEOs rather than workers.
The reason we took the time to come out and join you in this action is because we get it. We've been there, and we know what this is all about. One thing is certain, if we struggle, we will not be struggling in vain, because many who may be coming behind us will live better lives because we dared to struggle. So once again, here we are, on the line, struggling for justice. Justice for Jason Ruffin, justice for Aaron Harrison. The charges against these hard-working Americans must be dropped now.
Workers' rights, to oppose the war, bring home the troops, stand up for what you believe in. That's what we got going on, and I can't say it no better than that.
We all know about the struggle in the 1800s for the 8-hour day, which was a very important struggle. It was a struggle for safety, it was a struggle for survival, and it was a struggle for working conditions here in the United States. Here in the United States, workers have been struggling a long time, and it seems like now, brothers and sisters, we're struggling harder than ever.
I asked the New York Times reporter last week, will you be covering this event? And he said, is it newsworthy? What do you say? Is it newsworthy?
Stop the war now! Stop the war now! Union time! Union time! Union time!
Come on, guys! Hey! Stop the truck! Stop the ticket like me! Stop the truck! Stop the truck!
We have people laying down.
If longshoremen decide they're not going to cross the picket line, then the Zim ship that's coming in is not going to be worked. And that's going to be repeated around the world in Norway, Sweden, South Africa.
One-day protest is not enough. I mean, we have to have a continued fight, a direction to go in, you know, like some type of workers' party with a connection to fight up here. Labor unions only can do so much without a political force.
Today, what you witnessed was the current young membership of ILWU Local 10 answering the call. We claim no easy victories and tell no lies. Solidarity to the Palestinians. Solidarity to the working class around the world. Solidarity to the brothers and sisters here. What is important for everyone to understand today, this is not just a rally of protest. This is a rally of resistance. We have stopped the movement of international cargo today. Yes! The port of Oakland is shut down. The port of San Francisco is shut down. The port of Richmond is shut down. The port of Benicia is shut down. The port of Redwood City is shut down. That's the power of the working class.
Proud to say that my union in particular, this Local 10, still does some of the things that the old school labor movement used to do.
We shut down every port on the West Coast to commemorate the martyrs, the labor martyrs that died during the 1934 Maritime strike. And that holiday is celebrated every year because 2 police shot strikers in the back. They shot them in the back in cold blood, and that's what provoked the general strike in San Francisco.
No matter what the outcome of that sentencing, we've still got work to do. Because not only do we want justice for Oscar Grant and his family, we want justice for us too. They're getting ready to do things with that army base. We want jobs. We want union jobs. We want living wage jobs. We want jobs for residents of West Oakland. I'm going to say it again. We want jobs for residents of West Oakland. We want jobs for ex-offenders. We want jobs for our youth. That's what this is all about. An injury to one is an injury to all.
Okay, well that's a little bit of 25 years of class struggle in the Longshore Union in the San Francisco Bay Area. You know, one snippet that wasn't in there that I'd love to have had recorded, but it never made it, was in the first, one of the first clips, right after the anti-apartheid action, there was a 1987 strike against Crowley Maritime. And without the support of Howard working on the executive board in Local 10, we wouldn't have been able to have that militant action. You may have remembered the scene with the stocky black guy up there with the sledgehammer saying, "This will stop any action. This will stop any scab." Anyway, what happened in that situation was the union bureaucrats were in there negotiating with the port to get the scabs out of there, and they said, "Don't worry, by noon they'll all be out of there." Noon came and they were still working, and we'd had enough. So Howard was standing next to me. I grabbed the bullhorn. We're at the front gate. I said, "All right, men, let's go in. Let's get them off the barge." And so 500 strong, we marched in there. The cops had their guns loaded, but there were about 500 of us, and they knew they couldn't stop us. So no one was shot, but we just kept marching. The scabs saw us on the barge, and they went jumping off the barge. They got into a van, a security guard van had pulled up alongside the barge. They all jumped into it, and we kept steadily marching at them. Howard and I were up front along with some others in the Longshore Union. And when we got to the barge, the van took off. He couldn't come out the front gate because there were 500 of us coming down that main street. So they went off the side and tried to get out the back gate, but the back gate was locked. And the security guard didn't know what the hell to do because we were steadily marching after them. They knew we were going to take care of business if we got our hands on them. And so what happened was finally we got about 100 feet away from the van, and the security guard floored it, hit the accelerator, and just crashed through the cyclone fence to get away. Well, the scabs never came back again. And you know, when you talk about class struggle, the basic line in class struggle is the picket line. And the scabs learned a lesson that day. They never came back. And it was working with the Longshore Union that the boatmen were able to successfully organize that action. In the long run, actually, the boatmen lost the struggle because it was a concessionary contract that union bureaucrats cooked up after 9 months out on strike. But it was actions like that that if we had been able to replicate in other ports on the West Coast, we would have won. So I want to go into a little bit of my history and how I came to become a member of the Longshore Union. But before that, before I was a longshoreman, I was actually a seaman on the East Coast. I was in the National Maritime Union, and I was recruited to become a member of the Militant Solidarity Caucus of the National Maritime Union, which was initiated by the then revolutionary Spartacus League. And we based